So, friends, I've been sitting outside and I've been thinking about all this stuff that's going on with Dungeons and Dragons and what that means to me as a Gen Xer. You see, a lot of people, especially those younger than me, are saying try out other games and try out other rule systems. And those of you who follow me know that I'm cool with that. I believe that. But for my generation, Dungeons and Dragons is more than a rule system. Dungeons and Dragons is more than just rolling some dice to see whether you hit an orc and kill it. So I want to tell you a little bit more about it. So let's go inside here and let's take a look at why I see Dungeons and Dragons as more than a game and more of a cultural phenomena that was for my generation. All right, we're going inside. Let's take a look. I want to show you some of the stuff I have. Oh, well, here's the first thing. This cartoon came on in the 1980s. And for those of us who didn't get to play Dungeons and Dragons a lot, like I did, I only got to play for a little while at school during recess or sometimes in the library for maybe 30 to 40 minutes. This was how I got my Dungeons and Dragons fix. And then we had all these marvelous toys. My mom bought me a set of these little miniature toys during that time. I would put them in my Castle Grayskull. And then there were even better ones like this with Warduke and this with Strongheart. And there's some more over there. And then, yeah, I've got some more over here. Now, of course, there are many newer toys out and things of that nature, but with all the hatred and vitriol that D&D would sometimes get in the 1980s, it made some of us really double down. But for others, it was really a cultural phenomena that sparked our imaginations. D&D was more than just a game we played. D&D was about books that we would read. For me, Dungeons and Dragons introduced me to many authors I'd never heard of. Not just Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman, who did Dragonlance, but they had a thing in the original books called Appendix N, which introduced me to people like Poul Anderson, which sometimes mentioned Isaac Asimov and other sci-fi writers, people like Jack Vance and Wellerman. So for us, this whole thing going on with Wizards really breaks our hearts because D&D has a deep meaning for us. Those are my thoughts.